Jehovah's Word, the Bible, contains warnings that help us to identify apostasy and empower us to avoid negative talk and its bad effect on us. Negative talk can draw a person away from others or away from certain beliefs or practices. Those who want you to stick to the beliefs that they teach or the group that they belong to can help you to identify certain messages as negative so that they can help you to refuse to listen to them and block them from your mind. As Jesus' genuine followers, Jehovahites of Empire of Jehovah want to help Jehovah's people to avoid any negative talk that can influence their minds and take them away from Jehovah. On the other hand, we refuse to falsely accuse others of negative talk simply because they notice that something is not right in their organization's teaching or conduct. Falsely accusing someone of negative talk or taking away the peace is itself negative talk which should not be listened to. When John the Baptist started his preaching work, he said some things that the Pharisees, that is, the religious leaders of Israel, considered to be negative speech. There is no doubt that they continually spoke to the people, telling them not to listen to John's message. John, like other prophets before him, was someone who could potentially take away the peace of the nation by speaking up about things that were wrong amongst them. But it was Jehovah who had sent John, and it was Jehovah's warning that he was delivering to Jehovah's people. Unfortunately, the leaders of Jehovah's people considered it too negative to listen to, so they refused to listen and blocked their minds to it. When Jesus Christ started his preaching work, there were many things that he exposed as wrong in the teachings and practices of the religious leaders of Israel. Jesus' negative talk was certainly rejected by them, and their hatred of his message led to them killing him. Jehovah had sent Jesus to warn his people that they had gone wrong and needed to come back to Jehovah. But because they wanted to keep their strong position, they refused to listen to what they considered negative speech. Those who want to promote the idea that their organization is a spiritual paradise do not want any of their members to listen to any negative speech about them, even if such negative speech is true, because it may contradict with their idea that their organization is like a paradise and is therefore perfect, or at least wonderful. So they teach their members not to listen to anyone who says anything negative. This preconditions the minds of the members to block any warning message that Jehovah could send to them. They add to this false accusations that any person speaking negatively is without any doubt an apostate, a person taking away the peace, and a person full of jealousy or other unscriptural and animalistic qualities. This helps them to justify their belief that all those who give any warning, just like the prophets of ancient times, must be rejected and ignored. In their 2020 Always Rejoice convention, Jehovah's Witnesses have again warned that their members must never listen to any negative talk about their organization. They have again also demonized anyone in the congregations who has negative feelings about something they have witnessed in their congregation or the way that they have been treated. This counsel has been particularly directed at men in the congregation who feel that they have been treated in a disrespectful way. While we agree that negative talk can be very destructive, and there are many false accusers who should not be listened to. We also feel that it is very dangerous to view every warning message as negative speech. It is very unhealthy to view every report of wrongdoing as simply a negative or jealous attitude. And it is very unfair and hateful to accuse every person who has been mistreated as a jealous troublemaker. Jehovah's Witnesses have preconditioned all their members to reject and refuse to listen to any negative talk. So if Jehovah chooses to send a prophet to warn them about something, they are ready trained to reject that warning. Just like the Israelites, they will, because of this, continue in their ways and teachings and will not respond to Jehovah's counsel. Empire of Jehovah will continue to put out its message that Jehovah's Witnesses are committing spiritual adultery with the Jezebel woman, as prophesied by Jesus in Revelation chapter 2. We will continue to warn them about their constant bragging, self-glorification, and idolatry of their organization. And we will continue to try to help them to see that other teachings of theirs are not scripturally correct, like, for example, that the other sheep are not part of the new covenant. But we are confident that just as the prophets before us were treated, like John and Jesus, for example, they will not listen to our message and will convince themselves that this is negative speech that should not be listened to. Jehovahites will not give up in sounding out our message. We will prophesy against the daughters of Zion and turn the heart of sons back towards fathers. We will speak out against Jezebel and those committing spiritual adultery with her. And we will warn the slave that because they beat their fellow slaves, they will be cut into two and thrown into great tribulation by Jesus Christ our King. Honest-hearted Christians everywhere, join with us now as we carry out our work for Jehovah and make the way of our Lord ready for his return.